This week in Hypixel Skyblock, a few things happened, and in this video I'll be covering most of them. The Barbarous blowgun no longer works on the time chamber zone. Eleanor's mobs actually used to drop loot, it seems, but it has been fixed now. Also, you can no longer use skeleton hats in the rift. Yeah, it turns out some people were getting skeleton hats and runes in the rift. It was probably from Eleanor's mobs. Beach balls no longer work in the crystal hollows or mine shafts. The tidal enchant's defense has been set to 5, 10 and 15%, and yeah, it's still terrible. Next, we have something that could have actually destroyed Hypixel as we know it. Basically, Hypixel released some community content rules defining what players should and should not do on their server. And yeah, they included some basic common knowledge stuff like don't make gambling dens or don't talk about politics and don't be Kanye. But since it was really vague, we got some really weird stuff. Like they decided to ban all giveaways. Literally, if this change came into play, you could no longer host giveaways for Hypixel items or coins. Also, you can no longer depict alcohol for some reason, even though Hypixel themselves do it. But again, it's mostly fair. But here's one that I honestly don't understand. You can no longer use copyrighted material on your island. Like you can't play copyrighted music using note blocks. You can't build stuff that look like copyrighted characters. I honestly don't get why Hypixel even did this. Like Hypixel themselves have a bunch of copyrighted stuff referenced in their game. So I don't really know why they are even doing this. And last and probably the worst one. You can no longer use third-party tools that give you an unfair advantage. And if you take that statement at face value, it means no third-party websites that track data, no mods, literally nothing. And yeah, this caused a lot of controversy, especially from the housing community, as this literally bans housing editor, which based on what I can see helps you do some coding stuff in housing. But instead of using Hypixel's own UI, you can code using Scratch. And yeah, it looks like you're cheating. But Hypixel admins also use external IDEs instead of command blocks to implement their logic. So I think they could be more lenient on this, considering the amount of time and passion people put into their builds. And yeah, as you could have guessed, everyone hates these changes. So the admins have taken it down and are working to improve it for release in the future. So as long as you don't do the stuff that's already bannable, like setting up gambling houses, making inappropriate builds, or using macros, you should be fine. For housing editor, I think Hypixel could actually collaborate with the team that made it and make a more Hypixel policy friendly version of it. There's also a new fishing outpost city project with, as you can see, a new island. They also added 2 new workers who are working. Yeah, there's nothing else to talk about, but it's probably gonna be related to fishing. This time Dio sent a fish. Here's some fun stuff from my Discord. This guy somehow got Giant Killer 7 and Scavenger 5 from the same table. This guy somehow made 1.7 bill from 100 bosses. This guy dropped an epic ice spray.
Basically, items dropped from dungeon mobs can have different base stats, and the stats depend on the floor they were dropped in, as well as randomly generated numbers that are about 10% base stats.
If the bonus percentage is 50%, the rarity of the item is automatically upgraded. So yeah, this guy got insanely lucky. Here's some fun stuff from the subreddit. This guy has 64 times your whole purse, and 10% of the player base doesn't play the garden. Truly the most perfect gameplay of all time. It doesn't have a flag, so it won't be flagged. I mean, there's a half slab, so you could have probably stonked through it. With 500 speed, I mean. Now that's a lot of damage. My neck hurts. This guy just unlocked the swearing DLC. Boy. If you're upset, you